Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Lancer Container Lines Limited Q3 FY24 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Ms. Lakshmi Chalwadi. Thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Capital Square Financial Services, I welcome you all to Lancer Container Lines Limited Q3 FY24 earnings call. We have with us Mr. A.K. Chatiwala, Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Praful Jain, Executive Director, and Ms. Ranjana Shinde, Chief Financial Officer of Lancer Container Lines Limited. Now, I hand over the floor to management for their opening remarks and outlook on business. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to you all in the earnings call for the quarter and 9 months ended as on December 31st, 2023, for the financial year 23-24. Thank you for joining. I trust you all had a chance to look at our presentation, earnings release, the financial results on the stock exchange and on our company's website. I would like to make some preliminary remarks before we enter into the questioning session. We are delighted to share that our performance remains steady for this quarter, supported by consistent demand for our services. The quality of our logistic infrastructure and the maturity of logistic services are key constants of both ease of business and by the extension of it from Make in India. Our commitment to growth is evident in the increase in the containers, expansion into new geographies, establishing and enhancing stronger foothold in key operating markets, and providing comprehensive logistic solutions. Moreover, in our pursuit of becoming a fully integrated service provider, we are actively exploring opportunities to cater and advance our services internationally across the globe. Moving further, to ensure profitable expansion, we are strategically opening new corridors and conducting market tests before deploying increased capacities. Thank you. Now we are open to address the questions.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone phone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets only while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The first question is from the line of Sudhir Padiyar from Consultant Capital Advisors. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, hi. Congratulations, encouraging set of numbers. I had a couple of queries. Sir, how many TUs have we added in this particular quarter? Hello?
Ladies and gentlemen, there seems to be a disconnection from the line of the management. Please stay connected while we reconnect the management. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for patiently holding. We have reconnected the management line back. So, sir, can you proceed with the question?
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Am I audible again?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Congratulations, encouraging set of numbers. I had a couple of questions which I wanted to check. So how much tonnage have we added in this particular quarter, TEUs?
So we have added approx 3,200 TEUs. The total numbers have reached around 18,400.
18,400 TEUs so far, including this 3,200, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Okay. And sir, and generally, what has been the average run rate on a quarterly basis, on average? I mean, if you take a look at the last, 8 quarters or so,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to
You
assess,
mean by
so average quarterly addition that we do normally.
normally average quarterly, we are deploying around 2,500, 2,500 TU.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That
All
is
right.
including my subsidiary and the parent company altogether.
Okay. 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 And how much time do you think it will take to target roughly to reach about 20,000 TEUs?
In this year itself, we will achieve this 20,000 number.
Okay. So somewhere I vividly remember you also mentioning about a target of reaching about 45,000 TEUs by FY26. Is that target still in place, or is it slightly moved here and there?
No, it is in place. See, for that purpose only, we are planning to do this QIP, which has already been announced. So from this money, which will be coming in, we will be planning to add another 30,000 TEUs into the kitty within a span of 1.5 years to 2 years.
Okay. 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 So thank you very much. I'll come back in the queue if I have further questions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nipa Harya from Nipnil Investment. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Congrats for the good set of results. I would like to know there is a growth seen in the TUs and the margins. However, this on the revenue front, there is a decline in year-on-year, the revenue was 15% and quarter-on-quarter it is showing 9.5%. So what is any specific reason for this? What is the reason for this revenue decline?
The major reason for this decline is because of the freight rates which has come down. So in this year, the freight rate has been come down drastically, but you can see there's a nil effect into our margins because we have expanded to new geographies where we are getting good margins out of these businesses. So that covers our margins, that's the protection over there. And apart from that, as we told earlier calls also, we always have a specific fixed margin with the customers, right? So we keep this margin intact and pass on whatever the rate decrease to the customer.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to join the question queue. The next question is from the line of Bhakti Oza from Bhakti Enterprises. Please go ahead. Ms. Bhakti Oza.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Bhakti. Please.
My question is, can you share your views on Red Sea crisis and its impact on our company? Also, is there any volume data available for a comparative analysis?
See, I just want Mr. Chataiwala to address this question in terms of Red Sea operations.
Yeah, let me tell you is the Red Sea, actually we are not operating much in the Red Sea. If you see, the prices are really, you never know what can happen out there. And seeing the geopolitical situation, so we have restrained ourselves not to venture much into the Red Sea area till things clear up. So we are concentrating on other areas at the moment, and once the Red Sea crisis opens up, and then we'll start Red Sea ports.
Also, to add into that, we have specifically designed a team to work into the Mediterranean region, and we have right now stopped looking to those models till the time this crisis will eventually go out. So the team is ready, the functions, methodologies are ready. Just we are waiting for the right time to look into those regions.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nimit Arora, who's an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hi. Sir, congratulations for the great set of numbers. My question is around the joint venture we entered with Lotus Shipping Services. From the announcements, it is clear that, we entered in a JV. I wanted to know that what is the purpose? From my understanding, it is about running the vessel operations. So on the operation side, what is the part that Lotus Shipping does for us? How does the profit split works? And what portion of the vessel cost did the Lotus Shipping bears? And what is the model that we are going to follow for the next set of vessels that we own?
Okay. Now, let me tell you, we joined hands with Lotus, which is a company operating in Dubai, having vast network in the Mediterranean, you can say in the Gulf and the Upper Gulf. Now, basically, we've joined hands with them. Lancer has got about 51%. We formed a company by the name of SJ Shipping. In this, we plan to have vessels and deploy them in our sector. Now, Lancer will be having for 51% of the stake and 49% would be with Lotus. So, the investment part also would be 51% from Lancer and 49% from Lotus. This is how it is going to work, and accordingly, the profits will also be shared. Now, this company has already been formed, office has already been taken. Now, we are just waiting for taking a vessel and deploying it. Now, what we plan to do is, we've already hired a captain who's going to look after it and see, because we already have captive cargo, for example, from India to Jebel Ali, we already have cargo from there. So this vessel, which we are going to take, is going to be a small vessel which can carry approximately 600 to 800 containers. These containers will be moved from Mundra to Jebel Ali, or wherever we find the routes more profitable we will be routing. Is going to be like a shuttle service, which we plan to deploy because we already have captive cargo. I have already told you how much is the investment. The investment is approximately $7 million, in which 51% is to be put in by Lancer and 49% has to be put by Lotus. And whatever the profits which are going to come are going to be shared between the two companies.
Right. Thank you. And on the next set of vessels, so one thing is, on this vessel, what is the sales that we're targeting for a particular year, in a year? And what is our plan to acquire more vessels after this?
See, let me tell you, this is going to be one vessel which we are going to do on a trial basis, seeing the profitability. We will be going into the next vessel forward. So this is going to be, you can say, is a pilot project which we have, because we already have captive cargo. Because if you see, if I'm using someone else's vessel, he is already making profits from us. But when I have my own captive cargo, I can use it and get all the profits to myself. So that is the reason we are starting this vessel operation. Going forward, you can say is, as we make profits out here, we are going to plow back all the profits into buying or chartering of vessels going forward. That is what the plan is of the management.
I see.
I hope I have answered your question.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Yatin Kapoor, who's an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So my question is, first was regarding Red Sea, I guess that's already been answered. But the second one is regarding the vessel operations that we were supposed to start it from January this year. So have they started, or they're still lagged out? And lastly, on the depreciation, we can see a little higher amount of depreciation in the month of in the quarter. So any specific reason, and then for that? And do we expect the same thing going forward?
See, let me tell you about vessel operations. We've already formed a company which takes time in Dubai. So we've already formed the company. Actually, we were planning to start in January, but due to the delay, because we had to do up the office and going forward, looking at the market scenario about the Red Sea problem, that is the reason the rates of the vessels have gone up because of Red Sea problems. That is the reason we've just slowed down on it. We had planned to start in January, but seeing the scenario, we're just keeping quiet because we just formed the company right now, and we are looking out for vessels. Apart from that, we are waiting for the finances also. Finances also, ODI, we've already applied to Reserve Bank of India to send the payment from India. As you must be knowing, if you're sending money, if you're investing in a foreign company, you need to take permission from Reserve Bank of India, which we applied, and we feel that within 15 days, we should be getting the permission, and then we start transferring the funds and having the vessels with us.
Okay.
That is
so by when do
second amount of
sorry, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me answer for the depreciation increases for this consolidation. If you see in standalone, there is not much changes in depreciation. But in consolidation, there is a little bit jump because of we added 3,000 and more containers in our overseas subsidiary. So they are using their tax rate something different. We are means calculating depreciation on WDV basis, but they are calculating depreciation on straight line basis. So they are using as a 10 years of containers life. That's why the increase in depreciation in consolidation, not in standalone.
All right. Thank you. So just on the vessel one, so by when do we expect this to start? Another quarter or so?
Pardon?
Sorry, you are not audible clearly. Can you please repeat?
No, I was saying, so when do we expect the vessel operations to be started? Maybe another quarter, then by this April we can expect?
See, our right now priority is to increase the number of containers, first of all, because this will be a new set of containers which will be deployed into this vessel. So I should be strong enough to sustain this vessel through captive use, right? So for that, I require the increase of containers, first of all. That is the priority. Maybe in a 2 quarters time, we should have a fully functional vessel running. That is our forte.
Okay, so just this last one. So if we have not started the container as of now, so what is the reason for expansion in margins for this quarter? Any specific reason?
Sorry, not able to hear you.
I'm saying if we have not started the vessel operation as of now, any specific reason we can see an increase in margin for this quarter?
See, increase in margin because of on certain areas we are expanded, like in Africa region, we are doing it. So we are getting a very good margin on those sides, as well as the new containers which have come in, we have deployed into those areas. They are generating good margins in terms of areas which we are covering through India. So most of these margins are through our SOAs or coverage through outside India locations, because the freight rates are not good enough right now in the destinations from India exports.
All right, that's it. Thank you for answering. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Just a reminder to all the participants, if you wish to ask questions, you may press star and 1 now. The next question is from the line of Amogh Dahiwadkar from Ekdant Investments. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So following the acquisition of 60% stake in Concall Logistics Worldwide, can you elaborate on how this strategic move will contribute to Lancer Container Line's growth within the freight forwarding business?
Yes, see, Transco is already into the business with a very good team up there, and they are doing successfully very good in past 2-3 years. They are big enough to look into all the freight forwarding projects and break bulk projects. So we want to expand on those reasons, onto those areas, and we find it very good in terms of joining hands with this company. So it will be moreover to expand to my freight forwarding arm, which is right now doing approx 10 to 12% of total size of turnover. I want to expand this operations reaching to somewhere around 20-25%, so that there should be a increase in terms of top line as well as bottom line. And they are a very good operating into Middle East segment and Southeast Asia, which is also our major hold base. So operating on those areas through freight forwarding division will be added advantage to us.
Okay, sir. And so one more question. Beyond the container expansion, are there any ongoing projects or initiatives that could significantly impact the company's future performance?
Yes, let me tell you, we've already booked about 1,200 containers. Starting from April, for the year, 1,200 brand new containers we've given to one company in Ahmedabad. We've just signed the agreement, so you will be finding for the next year an increase in the revenues and the profits. Apart from that, in China, most probably you will be finding an announcement of I think Lancer placing an order for about 2,000 containers, brand new containers in China. So if you see, taking all that into consideration, you'll be finding an increase in the revenues and the profits accordingly.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next follow-up question is from the line of Subir Padiyar from Consultant Capital Advisors. Please go ahead.
Sir, pardon my ignorance, but what is the correlation between freight rates and vessel rates?
Yes, sir. Let me tell you, the correlation is simple as that. There is something called the freight rate which we are giving to the exporter. That is called the freight rate that we say, what I'm selling. And the vessel operator, the rates that he is giving, it is called the slot rates. So it is slot by the vessel operator, and what we are selling to the exporter is called the freight rate. That is how we talk.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt. Maybe I didn't frame my question properly. I'm saying that vessel rate means the rate at which you're purchasing a vessel. For example, you just mentioned that, the cost of purchasing a vessel has actually gone up because of the Red Sea crisis.
Absolutely.
So I'm talking about the cost of purchase of an asset, okay, like a ship or a vessel, for example. What is the correlation of that and the freight rate? Are they directly correlated? Are they inversely correlated?
They're directly, if you see, they're directly as simple as that. You can say there is something called demand and supply also. Scarcity of containers, all those things are there taking into account. If you see today, if you charter a vessel, I'll give you a small example. If you charter a vessel today, for example, it would cost you nothing less than about $12,000 a day. Whereas if you have your own vessel with you, if you have your own vessel, your rates are going to be substantially down when you're using your own vessels. So if you see it, at the moment, if you're going to have a vessel, if the rates have also gone up, if it is going to be very economical as per the freight rates that we will be enjoying in comparison to the vessel operator rates.
I can admit, sir. So I'll rephrase my question once again. So what I was trying to understand, okay, I normally understand that as and when there are some, crises that happens, like for example, the Red Sea crisis, okay, the rates of vessels go up, okay, because that's the number of vessels are either pulled out or whatever, and the cost of vessels go up. I would also like to believe that, normally freight rates also go up at the same time. Okay. I was just wondering, how come that equation doesn't work? Because we have seen a decline in freight rates over the last, 1 quarter or so, right? Because of which we've said that our revenues are also declined. So why is that equation not holding true is what I'm just trying to understand a little bit more.
See, basically, if you're going to deploy your vessel into Red Sea areas, you will be getting better freight rates. Especially the rates have gone up, Red Sea area rates have gone up. But the other rates have not gone up substantially. If you have your vessel and if you're going to deploy it, you might get you can make about $500 to $700 on a container if you're doing it to Red Sea area and taking the risk. But if you're flying it, it's going to be it's not going to be substantial, a marginal increase in your freight rates.
Okay. So freight rates across the board have not moved up. It's only in a specific geography because of the crisis that has gone up significantly, you're saying?
Absolutely, you're right.
Okay. Whereas on the other hand, you're saying the cost of procuring a vessel has actually gone up anyways.
Yes, it has just gone up because most of the people, what they're doing, they're taking a risk. They're deploying the vessel in the Red Sea area, small vessels.
Okay.
So to make a quick buck, what they're doing is they're deploying. That's the reason small vessels, the rates have gone up. So these are the guys, because the main liners and the vessels, the main guys are not going to Red Sea area. The small guys are going. That is the reason the vessel rates have gone up. Once the crisis are over, your vessel prices will come down.
Okay. I get it. I've got much better clarity now, sir. So one last question from my end. Yes, sir. Sorry, you were saying something?
Yeah, so I just want to add something as he mentioned about this. If you can check on the freight index also, the locations which is the Red Sea area, the freight rates have moved up. That's the reason this index has been calculated. But other areas, you can see the freight rate are not that much. So that can also be evaluated through that.
Okay. I get. So one last question from my end. Okay. Over the last couple of quarters, we've seen the margins anyways improving. Okay. Now, with the aggressive expansion of tonnage we have in mind over the next 1.5 years, can you kind of give us some hint at the direction of margins that we can expect over the next 2 years? I mean, with the addition of TUs?
What I can say on that, we are very conservatively maintaining the margins of 13-14%. I am talking about on a very conservative level. Though freight rate in certain areas has increased drastically in the last quarter because of the Red Sea. So you can see the improvement into the margin which is coming. That is the first reason. Apart from that, once I add more containers into my kitty, I will negotiate with my slot operator in terms of pricing for the slot side. So that has been better, and going forward, once I have more containers, that will be going forward, will be much more better in comparison. So a level of gross margins, you can say, on a lower side, 12 to 13%. On a higher side should be like 18 to 20%.
Okay. So on a normalized basis, about 200-300 basis point margin accretion is something that we can expect at least over the next 2 to 3 years.
Right, and it also depends on detention in certain areas. The containers stuck for a very long duration, and you can get more money apart from your freight through detention. So that can also improve a sustainable margins in some of your growth.
I get that. Okay, so thank you very much. I shall come back in the queue if I have more questions.
Please, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nipa Haria from Nipnil Investment. Please go ahead.
Sir, I would also like to know, what is the expansion plans beyond this container? Do you have any ongoing projects, or what are the initiatives you would like to take for the company's future performance?
Now, let me tell you, the future we've already said. What we plan is basically we plan to increase the containers to more than 40,000 to 50,000 containers.
Okay.
Going forward, we are also getting into vessel operations also. So the first vessel most probably should be in a couple of months, you can say the first vessel should be there. Then as we go forward, we might see where we can see new avenues to increase our revenues and profitability.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, if you wish to join the question queue, you may press star and one now. The next question is from the line of Vaishali Parthiv Kumar from Vihan Investment. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity. Sir, I missed the investment number which we are doing in Lotus Container Shipping. So could you please elaborate on that?
You see, as I told you, a vessel would cost us anything between about $6 to $8 million. So if you see if the investment is about $8 million, you are supposed to put in about 51%. So it comes to approximately, if you say 50%, $4 million would be the investment for a vessel.
Okay. And in our earlier call, we were talking about the chartering of this vessel, which was having 50 to 55% kind of, EBITDA or PBT maybe. So, what about the captive use, margins? Are they same or will they be better, or can you please throw some light on that?
See, when you're owning your own vessel, the margins are going to be better. And then let me tell you, today at the moment the markets are a bit dicey at the moment. Once the prices come down, your margins will increase because there's a cyclic business. Now at the moment, if you see, just because of the Red Sea crisis, the rates have gone up. If you would have seen about 6 months back, the rates would be down. So this is cyclic. Once the Red Sea crisis is over, then you will find another. When you buy a vessel, there's going to be a spring back again for us.
Okay, so and about our revenue, the way you said that freight rate has actually gone down from last year. So do you see that in next quarter, maybe because of Red Sea, some revenue, figure should be different or maybe higher side, or we do not work in a Red Sea, so we are immune to that particular hike of freight rates in Red Sea.
See, for us, it's more important to look into the margins rather than looking to the top line in terms of revenue. Because see, for getting additional revenue, we are already working to add more regions into our kitty and more of operations into different sectors, particularly to the logistics side. So eventually, once I have a vessel, once I am going into other regions like far western regions, I will be having revenues coming from those segments as well. Apart from that, we are raising ourselves into the freight forwarding, trying to reach from 10% to 20% of the total revenue which we're trying to do. So from those operations also, from break bulk operations also, we will be getting revenue. And these tie-ups and JVs which we are doing also, they will be segmented into different verticals. So this is much that where we cover this shortage which we have been done. Phenomena of freight is more like demand and supply. You have already seen the freight rates going down, going up, but it doesn't affect us much because we always try to protect the margins which we are making and try to increase those margins in terms of the better operations which we are planning to do.
Okay. And which new routes we are adding?
Routes, we are right now entering into Africa. We have Latin America we are doing, which is a new region. We have plans for Mediterranean region also, but we have stopped ourselves looking into the scenario which has developed. So we are getting good freight rates into the regions which are near to those segments. So we are keeping a wait and watch type of strategy over there. We are now planning to enter into European and Western countries also in a strategic manner.
Okay. And when we say we are exploring these routes, so we are talking about some kind of JV, or we are putting our own offices there. How do we go ahead with that?
See, it always, once we enter into new region, we have to identify what type of operations and what type of agency network we have established over there. So first step should be identify what type of agents which are available, and we can enter through agency network.
Okay. So with these routes which we have discussed right now, we have already done means we have already identified the agents and everything.
So we have already have agents in Africa, Latin America. We have already have that. For Western regions, we are working on exploring opportunities with the different agents, where we can establish some relationship.
Okay. So within 1 or 2 years, I think we should be able to enter into Western and European countries or in those routes.
We can able to do that before that. Within a quarter or 2 quarters, we can able to establish our network, agency network. So this is we have already have an initial talk with these people. It's more about signing an agreement and joining.
And so you were earlier also discussing about the liquid containers. So where are they in terms of that?
Sorry, not able to hear you.
Sorry to interrupt. Vaishali ma'am, there is a lot of disturbance coming from your side, a background noise.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm asking you, we were talking about the liquid containers. So where are we in terms of discussion of that liquid containers? Where are we?
We have already established a company, Lancer Tank Containers, and we are planning to buy some of the tankers to start this business activity. So it's on a nascent stage, but we are waiting for the funds, and we have planned to do a QIP. Some portion of the funds will be deployed to buy these tank containers also.
Okay. Okay. And what will be the route for that? Have we already discovered that, or it is too early to talk about it?
Sorry, come again.
For the liquid container, have we already discussed the route where we want to deploy that, or it is?
Yeah, we will be working with all the developed agency network which we have with Lancer. So that is already they are doing some export for tank and handling these tank containers. So this will be through them only. So what are the existing routes where I am functioning right now will be the same for my tank operation.
Okay. And what about the margins? Will it be to the as the containers, the margins will be similar, or it will be higher than the normal one?
It is in comparison better margins from your standard 20 feet or 40 feet containers, dry containers. Because these are specialized containers and you have a specialist team who can handle liquid cargo. So it will be a better margin in comparison.
Okay. Okay. And when you say that we are waiting for QIP, so can we see that if we are raising money through QIP, then we are able to buy this liquid containers? And what will be the these numbers are already factored in when you say 40,000-50,000 containers you want to take it to?
These tank containers, we will be not adding a very large quantity. It should be with a start of somewhere around 50 containers. That's how it is, because these tank containers are also expensive in terms of that. And it will be a mix of our self-approvals as well as the money which we are going to receive from QIP. And yeah, the plans are in place in terms of when I say 45,000 TEU, 2 years down the line. So it has been taken into consideration.
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you so much. This is from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aditya Bawari from DeLorean Partners. Please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. I had a couple of questions. One, what is the amount of QIP that you plan to raise? One. Two, what is going to be the end use of funds for these? This is on the QIP. On the vessel operations, I just wanted to know how far out are we in terms of acquisition of the vessel? What is the proposed means of finance for that in terms of, are you going to take some debt for it, or is it going to be financed only through equity? And then when do we really expect the vessel operations to start? Given that I'm given to understand that this vessel will be a second-hand vessel, so then will there be some refitment, etc., that will be required, repairs, etc.? So realistically, when do we, expect those vessel operations, vessel to be acquired, given the freight rates are already high and we're waiting for that to come down? And then, when do after repairs and refitment, when do the operations start? Thank you.
You see, there's multiple questions which you have put across all together. I just go one by one. Coming to your QIP, the size is 300 crore, which we are planning to do, and this is the entire money will be utilized for buying containers, which include your tankers as well as the standard dry containers. Now, coming to the vessel side, as I told earlier also, we are planning to do a vessel operations, most of from other self-accrual. And some of the money is been planning to be infused by the promoter also, which will be put it into the vessel side. And this vessel should be like 12 to 15-year-old vessel. We are already looking into this vessel and hired a captain who is specialized more than 30 years into this vessel operation. So once we already identified 2-3 such vessels, and we're just looking to which is much more feasible to take into our operation side. And then second thing comes to transfer this money through the ODI route to my subsidiary and making this operational. So I believe within 6 months period, we can able to start these operations from the vessel as well.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Heath from Ashika. Please go ahead.
Hello.
No, sir, you're not audible. If you're using the speaker mode, may we request you use the handset mode, please?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Is it audible now?
No, sir, we are not able to hear you. May we request you to use the handset mode? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is it audible now?
This is much better.
Thanks for the opportunity. So the kind of vessel which you're talking about, 600 to 800 container vessel. So what will be the price per day if we charter the vessel instead of buying it? You are saying that it is in the range of 7 to 8 million if we buy it. And what would be the rate for chartering the vessel?
See, let me tell you, chartering, if you charter a vessel of the size which I told you, would cost you anything between $14,000 per day to $16,000 per day. That would be the cost for chartering a vessel.
$14,000 to $16,000 for chartering a vessel, which is almost 15 years old.
See, the chartering rate depends upon the size of the vessel as well as the age of the vessel. Now the size that we are looking is 1,000 TEUs.
Okay, it's 1,000 TEU. You earlier mentioned about 600 to 800 TEUs. Okay, 1,000 TEUs.
No, I'm sorry. 1,000 TEUs. So 1,000 TEUs, if you charter it, that will cost you ranging between $14,000 a day to $16,000 a day.
Okay, so that was my question. And the second question is, do you see any opportunity going further? We will have more vessels like this.
See, let me tell you, as I've already mentioned earlier, this is going to be a pilot project. See, we will be having the containers. At the moment, as we are intending to increase the containers, it will be more viable for us to have a vessel, like a shuttle service, from Mundra to Jabalari or some other place where the freight rates are going to be high. So it is like you have your own car, you can move your truck anywhere. Suppose you have your own truck. Wherever you're getting more revenue, you're going to shift it that side. So that is going to be beneficial for the company.
Fair enough. So that was my question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next follow-up question is from the line of Yatin Kapoor, who's an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you again, sir. My this question is that do we have a volume versus price growth for quarter? As we can see, the sales are down because of trade, but our profits are still up. The EBITDA is still up. So if we can get going forward, how much we have seen increase in volume and what is due to price, it would be grateful.
See, as I've told you, we intend to increase the containers. In 2 years' time, we intend to increase it by about 40,000 containers. So seeing what we've been doing at 15,000, you can just multiply it, plus and minus 5-10%, that would be your turnover, and your profits would be accordingly.
Okay, thanks. But my question was a little different. So, what I wanted to know is that last quarter we did roughly 166 crores. However, this quarter we have done 151 crores, but our profit are still up. So it could be maybe due to the volume has increased, or maybe we are getting a high margin somewhere. So if we could get what's the reason going forward that though the sales have decreased, but the margin has increased by, let's say, 50% and volume increased by 50%, that would be great help. But
See, it is because of multiple reasons. One is the new destinations which we have added that is generating better margins. So that is of course one thing. And in last 1-2 months of this quarter, just because of this Red Sea crisis, the freight rate into those multiple areas which we are operating from Dubai has increased, and that is generating retention to us as well. So that is one of the area where we have seen marginally better improvement in terms of the margin. Apart from that, operations from my freight forwarding arm has also generated better margin in comparison to last quarter. So these are the few things which has been shown a surplus in terms of margin growth. And with increase of containers, as I earlier also said, we have negotiated well in terms of the slot charges. So the slot cost, which is the highest in terms of my overall cost chart, it comes around 80%, has been reduced to 78% or 77%. So the margins have improved further for that.
all right, thank you. That's it from me.
Thank you very much. As there are no further questions from the participants, we conclude today's conference call. On behalf of Lancer Containers Lines Limited, thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.